sand fans and lunatics. Sand Phil here today. Well, I think today we're going to try to put a pressure regulator on the sand squatch here and see if that makes any difference. Well, let me get her uncovered and we'll get started. My neighbor decided to mow his lawn about the time I decided to start this, but maybe we'll just figure it out, guys. Who knows, maybe I'll put some kind of crazy narration over this. What I'm doing right now is I've just taken off the snorkel, the air snorkel, and I'm going to disconnect the throttle spring. Whoa, and of course that went to the ground. Alright. Put that right up here so I can remember it. Alright. So the rest of this looks fairly simple. Cut this little zip strip off. Alright. Well, let's take these plenum bolts out and see what we've got here. I hope that's what everybody calls this. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I'm just a guy who has a sandrail that doesn't have any money to pay anybody else to fix it. My new neighbors are awesome. We just love them. Alright, so see, I'm going to put those in like that. That way, I know where they go. Alright, guys. Well, I was going to tell you a neighborhood story, but I don't know if you'll be able to hear me or not. Anyway. Going to double check this camera, make sure we are recording before okay. Can you guys see everything good? I'll kind of put it like that. There you go. Alright. Okay, let's see. How about a neighborhood story? Let's see. We have rent houses on both sides of our property here. So we never really know who we're going to have for a neighbor. And the house on the other side of this, there's two houses. There's one that sits in the front and there's one that sits behind it. And see, I'm just marking these so in case these bolts are different, when I put it back together, I'll have like a map that shows me how this goes. Anyway, so we came home from work one day, or I came home from work one day, and there was the whole family was sitting on the roof of the house for no real apparent reason. Except that, you know, I guess they needed to sit on the roof. I mean, I'm pretty cool with all of that. But, so, that happened one day. The next day, I come home. I know, this guy's mowing his lawn. And of course, he started right up against my garage. Couldn't have started on the other side. Maybe we could have got all this done. But, anyway, it's whatever. But, I guess I don't need to be taking that off. Let's leave that on there. Okay, so where was it? Oh, so yeah, we come home one day and the whole family is up on the roof, just hanging out. Awesome, I think he hit something. Just hanging out, like lounging in the living room, but they're on the roof. So I come home for the next 2 nighs, and it's pretty much like they've decided that that's where they're going to live, is up on the roof, which it's whatever. I mean, that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. But so this happened two days, and of course I don't think they work because, you know, obviously I would come home from work, and looks like they had enough time to be up there all day. They had all kinds of stuff up there. So anyway, so I come home. So this happened 2 nights in a row. I came home and they were up on the roof, and so the 3rd night when I come home, they've got a bunch of cushions and sleeping bags and all kinds of other stuff up on the roof. You know, like I said, to each their own. They weren't really bothering me. It's just, I'm telling you guys, these are the strange things that happen in our neighborhood. So yeah, so the next night I come home and they've got cushions and stuff and sleeping bags and all kinds of stuff up there on the roof. Now I was kind of expecting to see the TV set and everything up there, but I hadn't gotten that far yet. So my wife had to go out of town Friday, and so when I came home from work Friday, she wasn't here, and I had to take some pictures of what happened Friday when I got home from work. They had tried to put the couch up on the roof, and I had to take some pictures of it to send to my wife because she was out of town, because I knew that she probably would not believe this. So I took some pictures of it, and I will insert them into this video. Alright guys, well, I've got my little map, and I've got everything laid out, so when it comes back time I should be able to put all these in. I think all of these bolts are the exact same size, which, granted, I probably didn't have to make this little template, but usually if something weird's going to happen, it happens to me, so I'd rather just do this. So I'm going to set this in the front seat of the sand rail, and let's take this plenum off. I think I've got all the bolts off. And it should, I think I've got to unplug this sensor right here. There we go. Now this thing, I think, unless something else is holding it, which I'm not really saying, but it kind of feels like something over here is holding it. I think they should come off. Feels like something's got it. Oh, it's, I forgot, there's a sensor right here that we need to unplug. See if I can get to it from the other side here. It's way down under there. See if I can get that. You know what? I know this is the idle air control module because I put that one in earlier, but I think this one down here is the throttle position sensor, and I've got a new one of those, so when this air plenum is off, we may change that out, just because I've got a new one. There we go, got it. Now let's see if this thing will I think my stupid fuel pressure gauge was in the way. So there we go, took that off. Now, let's see if we can't get this off. See how much sand is hanging on there. Alright, something's holding it over here. Let's see what we got. It looks like there is some kind of hose. Comes out right underneath this thing. Yeah, there is a hose right here. There are two hoses right there. So, well, I think I am going to take this intake off, just because there's two hoses that are under it. Everybody thinks working on a sandrail is easy because the motor is exposed, but it gets pretty tight, especially on this one, up in this area. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think if I take this off, I should be able to take the plenum out and get to that, fuel pressure regulator. It would probably help if I loosen these instead of tighten them. Alright, let's see if we can't get this off. And yeah, you guys guessed it, I don't have a gasket for that. So. There's one. I think I'm going to try to move to the other side here and see if I can get this other one out. It is going to be tight, you know. I think what I may do, see if I can't go in the garage and find a really long extension. See if that doesn't help. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I went in, called Super Dave. Super Dave says that this should come off. He said just be really careful with it. Pry on it a little bit with the screwdriver. He said it should come up. I mean, let's see what we got. Yeah, I know. I thought I was done, but I talked to Dave, and Dave's like, go out there and at least get that fuel pressure regulator put in it. Alright, guys, I am back. I got this thing off. Now, this should fit this. Let's see if we can't get the screws out of here. That one came off. Alright, this is pretty typical of how I work on stuff. I have lost that somewhere, but I found another screw that fits it. So we will put this in. It's not like you're going to see this anyway, but it would have just been nicer to put it all back together the way it was supposed to be. Alright guys, got all the clips put back in. Now we'll just bolt this sucker down. see. We'll hook the fuel lines back up and see if we got any fuel pressure. I don't think we do, but you know, I've been thinking on this, and even if we've got to replace. Okay, well, I lost a whole bunch of video somehow. I don't know what I did, but anyway, I'm going to give you guys what I've got, and I got the fuel pressure regulator put back on this. So if you guys have any questions or anything about any of this stuff that I missed or I can't find the video for, just email me or get a hold of me somehow. But yeah, I've got the new fuel pressure regulator on here. Now I'm going to turn the fuel pump on and see if we have any leaks and see if we've got any pressure. I don't think we're going to, but let's see what we got. I can hear the fuel pump turning on. Doesn't look like we've got any fuel leaks, but we also don't have any pressure. Well, I think it's time to put a fuel pump in the sand rail. So I think what we're going to do in the next video is we're probably going to take this fuel pump out of the tank. We'll have to drain the tank, but we'll take the fuel pump out, and I think I'm going to go with an inline fuel pump. I think is what we're going to do. So anyway, have fun out on the sands, and we'll see you next time. Bye.